Yo guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you something that you guys really mess up while installing a fresh Windows. A lot of people think they're doing a clean Windows 11 install or any OS, but in reality they're skipping key steps and setting themselves up for problems later, such as getting stuck in a boot loop, encountering BSOD, or experiencing performance loss slowly. Let's do it the right way. First, grab the Windows 11 ISO. Just open any browser and search through Google search engine, type Windows 11 ISO into Google, and download it from Microsoft's official website. BTW, I will provide the link in the description somewhere so you can redirect to this page. Now follow the steps as I'm doing here and download it. Once you have the ISO, open Rufus, and if you don't have, check out the description. Anyways, plug in a USB drive, at least 8 gigs, but I'd recommend more for safety. In Rufus, select the ISO file, choose your USB drive, and then set the partition scheme. Now, this is the interested and important where you will decide either go with GPT or MBR. In simple words, GPT for UEFI system, which is hardware-related things. And in short, if you're Intel user, then you need 8th gen processors, and if you're Ryzen user, most of the Ryzen out there support secure boot and TPM, unless legacy AMD CPUs like the FX series or pre-Zen Athlon chips do not support TPM 2.0 or secure boot. Some older motherboards may lack full UEFI support or BIOS options for FTPM/secure boot. Hope that's clear. GPT means UEFI and MBR means BIOS legacy CSM, and these settings can be changed from the motherboard. Since I'm going with GPT, my BIOS settings are set to UEFI. GPT for UEFI systems, MBR for older BIOS or CSM mode. Leave the other options at default. When you click Start, Rufus will pop up with 6 customization options. Here's what they mean. Remove requirement for 4 GB plus RAM, secure boot, and TPM 2.0. Lets you install Windows 11 even on older hardware that doesn't meet these checks. Remove requirement for an online Microsoft account. Lets you skip the forced online sign-in and set up a local account instead. Create a local account with username. Lets you set your account name right now so it's ready after installation. Set regional options to same as this user's. Carries over your current language, keyboard, and region settings into the new install. Disable data collection. Skips Microsoft's privacy questions and limits data tracking during setup. Disable BitLocker automatic device encryption. Prevents your drive from being auto-encrypted, which can sometimes cause performance hits or recovery headaches. In my case, I'm bypassing the Microsoft account requirement, creating a local user, and disabling BitLocker. The rest I'm leaving unchecked. Once Rufus finishes, boot from that USB into the Windows setup screen. Now here's where most people go wrong. Partition selection. I've got 3 physical drives in my system, an HDD, an SSD, and my NVMe, where I will install my Windows, which is disk 2. When I select disk 2, I see 4 entries. Partition 1, System. This holds boot files for starting Windows. If you keep an old one, you're mixing old boot data with a new OS, and that can cause startup problems. Partition 2, MSR, Microsoft Reserved. Hidden system space Windows uses internally for disk management. Old ones can cause compatibility or alignment issues. Partition 3, Primary, the main partition with your Windows files and programs. Simply overwriting this leaves old boot and reserved partitions behind. Unallocated space, tiny leftover. A small gap from old setups that can cause misalignment and slow performance, especially on SSD and NVMe. Now what we will do for fresh install, delete every single partition on your target drive, yes, all of them. Highlight each one, click delete, and confirm until you're left with just unallocated space for the whole drive. Now click create, use the full size, and let Windows make fresh partitions for system, MSR, and primary automatically. Select the new primary partition and hit enter to start the install. Doing it this way ensures your Windows install is truly clean, no leftover boot records, no misaligned data, and no hidden junk. That means faster startup, better stability, and fewer headaches later. And that's how you properly clean install Windows 11 without leaving any old junk behind. If you found this guide useful, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you never miss a fix. I'm Austin, and this is Windows Fixer. See you in the next one.